Welcome to the Garage Experience Podcast.
Can you hear me good?
I can hear you.
Awesome. Right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Garage Experience Podcast. My name is Ovi. I'm your host, and today's guest is Mr. Greg
Scealf.
I don't want to say your last name because I'm afraid I'm gonna mess it up.
Yeah, Greg Scealf.
Yep.
Like an elf.
He's here from Knoxville Insurance Group, and please, if you want to present yourself and tell us more about what you do and who you are.
Yeah, Greg Scealf with Knoxville Insurance Group. We've been in business since 1989, helping folks with auto, home, life, business insurance. It's just been crazy. Ever since COVID, insurance has been crazy. Rates have skyrocketed across the country, and we're helping educate folks on how to get the best coverage at the best rate.
Are you the owner or?
I am the owner.
Okay. Do you have any employees under you?
We have 6 employees and 2 virtual assistants.
And I bet you have a physical office where people can find you?
Yep. 220 South Peters Road.
Okay. So not far from here.
Nope. About 10 minutes.
So on the insurances, I bet you got a lot of experience back then, since back then all the way now. What do you have some nice stories that you can tell me? Because, for example, for me, it was hard to get all the insurance. I'm a general contractor. I own my own business. And when I realized I have to get workers' comp, general liability, car, commercial insurance, because I use my truck for work, that was a pretty much pain in the ass for me to get all those, and especially get those started.
Yeah, it's we kind of specialize in people just starting out. They don't know what to do. So like I said, we probably got to combine 75 years of experience in insurance. So we take that client in and say, here's what you need. Here's what we need to get from you, and help them kind of get started, because there is a lot you don't think about: the workers' comp, the all the other intricacies of what you got to have a certificate of liability insurance to show the people you're doing the work for.
Yep. And for example, if somebody needs a car insurance, just walk in the office.
Yep, they either that or check us out on the web. Usually, how we got an easy form they fill out at KIGTN.com, and we contact them the way they want to get contacted, whether that be phone call, email, text.
Okay.
Make it easy.
I would like to know that this way, like probably a few years back when I first got my insurance. So it's not going to be that pain in the ass for me, because it took me probably 3 months to get all the insurances together. Talk to this company, they don't answer anymore. Talk to that, wait for the quote. The quote is like all the way high, But tell us a bit more. How do you start it, or what did you do before insurances?
What did I do?
Yeah. What's your beginning?
I was in sales.
Okay.
Sold copiers for Harris Lanier. It was just a nice segue. My uncle was an Allstate agent. I actually started out in Allstate.
Okay.
First 15 years was with them, captive. I only had one carrier. If it didn't fit there, then couldn't write you. Went independent in 2004, so it's been a little over 20 years. This side of it.
Okay, so when you do insurance, it's like a brokerage, like you put all information for example, for my car, and you find the insurance that's going to cover it.
Exactly. We have a program that we have over 20 national carriers from Travelers, Safeco, Nationwide. To give you the best, the best rate, not necessarily, the best coverage for the best rate.
Yep.
And this year we may have you with Travelers. In 2 years, we may move you to Nationwide. That's the advantages of being with a broker, because they can move your policy around. We work for you, the client, not the company.
Yep.
So, if Travelers jacks their rates up 15, 20%, we move you somewhere else.
So you said you started as a salesman back then. Since 94, you said you got this company?
Yeah. Knoxville Insurance Group in 2004.
2004. And since then you're the owner. What did you struggle in the beginning?
In the beginning of any small business, it's kind of getting started, getting your leads. I had the advantage of having worked the community as far as, insurance is something everybody's got to have.
Yes.
It's the only thing federally mandated you got to buy.
Yep.
whether it be health insurance or whatever. But so everybody's got to have it. Everybody has a car. They're paying somebody.
Yes.
So, we like to think that, you come to us, we're going to take care of you, not necessarily have the company in mind that we put you with. But starting out, it's as you grow, as any company grows, it's getting employees, getting the right employees in place, training them up to where, kind of duplicate yourself.
As having employees, for example, I don't know if in all the fields do you have to have workers' comp, because I'm thinking, okay, on my case, I need to have workers' comp because injuries are all over, But having a insurance company, your employees, I mean, do you need to pay workers' comp?
We do, but we probably pay 10% of what you pay.
Yeah, because it's literally just
the risk. You might fall going to the bathroom, but if you're on a ladder, bigger risk.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not as costly.
So, as you, as an business owner insurance company, you said the first was struggling to get leads. After that was clients, not clients, employees.
Yeah.
Right now, after all those years and all those experience, what do you struggle still?
I think we struggle with because, like I said, we have a great team now, but it's kind of meeting customer expectations because we're in a fast-paced world. They want it yesterday.
Yes.
We're only, you can only do what you can do,
Yep.
and and we had a meeting before I came over here that we got to set that expectation with a client. They got their renewal bill from, let's say, Travelers. It's gone up. Well, it's going to take a little time to reshop that and try to find you a better price. So we got to set the expectation of, okay, we're going to get back with you in 2 days. And we try to do it before that because we see the expectation. But, you got that and you got the fun, fortunately we've got a lot of leads coming in. So, you've got to weigh in, so we're a little bit overstaffed right now, which is a good thing because I think we're coming off. We're coming off our, our meeting we had today. We have produced more in January than any other January ever. So
Okay.
did about $100,000 in premium. 4 years ago, we did about 40.
Oh.
A lot of that has to do with the price of insurance has gone up, but we've written a lot more policies January. So, as the springtime comes, people start moving, buying houses, moving into the area. I mean, Knoxville's a booming area. They're moving here in droves. You go drive on the interstate, it's crazy. Even the last 5 years, it's gridlock from 3 to 7:30, which is a good thing for us because all these people driving's got to have insurance. But I try to stay a little bit overstaffed because the boom is coming, the spring's coming. We're going to get more busy.
Yep.
More clients calling in. With more clients come more service work because, you're going to, hopefully we've gone through the last 2 years of rates going crazy. They're kind of stabilized countrywide and especially in Tennessee, what we're hearing, they stabilized to where we're going to have not as many reshops with our current clients where we can pay more attention to the new customers coming in.
Do you think those all those like the storm what was hitting us last fall with the hurricane Helene and the fires in California, do you think that's going to affect the general insurances like all over? Because I mean, here in Knoxville, beside I think it was 2 years ago when it was like kind of a tornado, hit us. I don't know if something else it's came that close.
Yeah, we're a little bit protected from the mountains from storms. We do have, we still have some hailstorms and outside in Sevier County. I think we got a fire going on now, a wildfire.
Yeah, I saw it. I think in the morning or yesterday morning.
But I think Tennessee ranks probably in the top out of 48 lower states. We're probably 20th in the average homeowner cost. We've got like I said, we are protected. We get that question all the time as far as these fires and what happened in North Carolina and Upper East Tennessee. It'll bleed over some. A lot of that has to do with these companies have what's called reinsurance, to whereas
insurance for another insurance.
The insurance company are paying the reinsurer where they're not all the way on the risk, and people don't quite understand that. That insurance is going to go up, which eventually will bleed down. But I think we're protected, especially in East Tennessee, from rates going. I think we've seen. I think I've read where most companies have gone up on property insurance, the house, by about 40% over the last 2.5 years. But I've said it for a long time. I've been doing this, 35 years. We were a little bit underpriced in homeowners insurance. You cannot insure a $500,000 house for $1,000.
Yeah. It's pretty much makes sense,
I looked this morning. Our average homeowner cost in Tennessee is $2,300 a year.
Okay,
so
that's not bad.
That's
not bad at all.
That's about doubled though in the last 10 years. But everything else has gone up. I mean, to replace anything.
Yeah, but even like the property value of your land.
Yeah,
I moved here 3 years ago. My property tax were like with a mortgage and everything was like $1,500. Now it's like $1,700, and each year just like another $50 on $100 property tax. I mean, if that goes up, I bet the value of the house and the property goes up. So in that order, the insurance goes up because they have to value more, right?
Right. Yeah.
They have to cover more.
To replace this house costs a lot more today than it did in 2020.
I bet.
Just from material and the manpower, the labor cost.
I know. I'm in that field, and I do new build constructions, and I see how even from like a tiny home or something, it's just the materials itself. They got so expensive, plus the labor itself. Nobody's gonna come to work in construction for $10 an hour anymore.
Nope.
Everybody wants like at least 15 just to like brush, sweep the floor, stuff like that. If you have somebody with experience or stuff like that, you're looking about $20, $25, $30 an hour.
Yeah.
And just in that order, I mean, kind of everything goes up. Insurance is pretty much following. I have a question for you that it's kind of a tricky one probably. So I have a Hyundai Tucson. Last year, I don't have any claims on my insurance till this year. But last year, I think my car insurance went high, like probably 50% out of nowhere. I tried to get another insurance from one of those big corporations, like Geico or something like that. One of the companies told me that, when you do online code, they told me we cannot insure your car
because it's a Hyundai.
That's what I was going to get.
Yeah.
Is it because of the brand or is it because of something else?
It's because I think there was a TikTok hack of how to steal a Hyundai in about 30 seconds.
Okay.
And so that's...
I heard about that at the news, but I didn't pay attention.
And there's why, if we have insurance with you and you buy one, we can add it. But a new client coming in, these companies were I think they're backing off that now. But I know a year and a half ago, we had a lot of companies that wasn't going to write it.
Well, that's about when my insurance went up, like, let's say about a year ago. And I was like, I was talking with my wife, why? We didn't have any claims, didn't have accidents, nothing. And it still went high.
And that's why, because so many cars around the country of that brand was getting stolen.
Yep.
So
I
think they fixed that, where these companies are kind of opening that door back up.
Do you do a lot of commercial insurance for like businesses, stuff like that?
We do. We do a lot of contractors, got restaurants. We don't have really a true niche, kind of a generalist, but, contractors are good. Business for us, restaurants. So,
what do you struggle with some of those to get? Because I can tell you what I'm what I'm ashamed of. I always forget to pay my insurance, and I know those guys from the insurance company who had my general liability. They call me every month. Hey, you forgot to pay your bill. Can you pay it? Yeah, I'm sorry. And I always get them like, hey, can you give me like one of those ACH?
Yeah,
accord?
yeah. Most over 90% of what we have is on HCH because people. I mean, especially if you're trying to run your own business, that's the last thing you think of. You know, even though it may be a couple $100,
That's the thing, because it's not a
it
lot.
isn't the cost. It's just remembering to do it.
Yeah.
And so we set up everybody on, ACH. We don't have anybody. You know, we have probably 10 people a year come in and pay, and they pay the annual premium.
Yep.
We don't. You know, back in the 5 years ago, we were having people coming in all the time, every day, paying their monthly premium.
Monthly payment.
But I think people have gotten so comfortable with paying, giving a stranger over the phone. Okay, here's my credit card.
That's kind of weird, no? Because usually if I don't call that number, somebody calls me, hey, you have to pay this. Like, okay, who are you calling from?
Yeah.
But when I get to pay my insurance, I just call them because I have like one 800 number and just answer straight. I know, but I kind of makes sense what you're saying, because if I still think about it, it's kind of awkward. Just call somebody, give your credit card number, they're gonna take the money out of it.
Yeah.
Probably gonna be easier just to have like an ACH and just straight goes there, have a follow up kind of. On the insurance side, what stories can you tell us? What's the biggest insurance that you ever made, or what's the
Biggest
craziest
claim?
biggest claim? Not claim, biggest. Like for example, for mention, for one of those houses in Sequoia Hills.
Oh, we had. I think the biggest house we insured was about $12 million.
Oof.
It was in South Knoxville. They custom built it there. These people were from England.
Okay.
All the marble, everything was, shipped in. It was crazy. The amount of
Work and stuff.
work and design that this place had.
Okay.
And that was back then. I think the premium was like $7,000. Now today that would be
More.
15, 20,000.
At least.
Yeah.
What was the biggest claim then? What you got?
Well, it's I mean, we've had knock on wood, only a couple of total house fires.
Okay.
But you got $800,000 house, you lose everything. You got $800,000 for the house, but you've also got about $600,000 with the personal property. So you got $1.4 million. I actually, in the news lately, I think about a month ago, that house exploded on the lake here in Knoxville.
Yeah, I saw that. It was on Norris.
As a matter of fact, Todd Helton, Hall of Fame baseball player that played at Tennessee, used to live in that house till about a year before that happened. And I had my insured lived across the street and was at home when the boom hit. And he said it was just crazy. I didn't have the house that exploded, thank God, insured. But the guy wasn't home, or he would be here. But you've had your what people don't realize is, you got a Geico, and we see this out every day, that, you go online, the common person doesn't know what the coverage they need.
That's my problem.
And Geico pre-fills, and we're about to write, Geico, people don't really know this either. Geico is going to get into the brokerage field. It ain't going to be direct. Okay. It will be direct, but we're going to be able to write it as well. But we, of what we see coming in from Geico, they have the minimum limits, 25,000, 50,000, because they pre-fill that.
Mm-hmm.
So they see the price is low. They say, okay, let's buy it. 6 months down the road, they hit, my car, $40,000 probably value now. You only got 25,000. You total my car, you're going to have to pay the difference. The insured is.
Okay.
So they don't know what they got. So that's where you come into educating the folks that, okay, you're paying 110. Well, for 125, you can make sure that you're not going to get pinged for $20,000.
Yep. Out of your pocket.
Yeah. So they buy that, and 25,000. Well, I don't know if you've been to the doctor lately or been in the hospital, but I had a buddy of mine in Georgia I just talked to that had Achilles tendon surgery, was in there 6 hours, $37,000 bill just for that. So you go out here and have an accident, somebody goes to the hospital, stays in there 2 weeks, you don't kill them, but it's going to be $100,000. Well, you got Geico at 25,000. They're going to cut that check in a heartbeat, and they're done. But guess who gets sued for the rest of it?
You.
Yep. And so, well, I don't have anything. Well, you have a job. Guess what? They can garnish your wages.
Yep.
They can't take it all, but they're going to take it. They're going to take it forever. So from $110 to $125, the difference of $15 a month, we can get you covered your assets. So, and that's kind of what we do. And we educate folks that, what you have is not enough. And just for a few more dollars,
Well, that's good because that's something I didn't know.
Yeah.
And that's something what was surprised me a few weeks back. I was in Florida for New Year, and my wife hit a coyote in the dark night.
Oh, yeah.
It's nothing what you can do. It's an animal.
Nope.
And I was lucky to find out that my insurance cover hotel, towing, all the towings. I have to tow it 3 times. And everything else, I just have to pay the deductible, $600, and that's it. I was like, oh man, that's so cool. I was expecting to pay for the towing out of my pocket, pay for that out of my pocket, and just probably pay the deductible too, in order to get there. But those are some things that people should know, that if you get the insurance, you might want to read that insurance, what it says on the policy. For example, if you get a house like this one, and let's say just the house itself with the land is worth $350,000.
Yep.
On that, in case of a fire, do I need to get another insurance to cover the value, or like the items in the house, or the furniture, or the electronics, stuff like that, or that general house insurance is going to cover in case of a fire?
Yeah, generally the homeowner's insurance for $350,000, you're going to have 70% of that $350,000 covered for your personal property.
Okay, so roughly about 300.
Yeah,
on that.
275, 300, whatever. 70. Some companies go to 75%, so it's included in that price for your homeowner's insurance. The big thing, the big buzzword in insurance right now is the roofs, because it does hail around here, and these companies are going to. I have one company now, Travelers. How old's this house? What's the age of this house?
This one, 93, so 30 years.
It probably had a new roof in 2011 when we had the hailstorm. You don't know, you wasn't here.
I don't know, I wasn't here. Okay. But the roof on the house is about 15 years old. Okay, so I would say there was.
Yeah, there you go. And we, like I said, everybody in West Knoxville seemed like they got a new roof when that hailstorm. We paid out. That was our biggest. You ask about the claim. We paid out $10 million in roofs in 2011. April the 27th, 2011. Never forget that day. It's kind of like D-Day for the insurance companies. But now these companies, like Travelers, will not write this house because the roof is over 10 years old.
Okay.
They're going to back that up. And a lot of companies are going to. So that's kind of the biggest thing today. Like, you get a new roof and they try to sell you on a 30-year roof, 50-year roof. You don't do that, because these companies after 20 years aren't going to pay. They're going to pay actual cash value. Okay. You're paying a lot more extra for that extra roof. A lot of companies will pay you 50% of the value after 10 years. That's really not general public knowledge right now. And a lot of times they will, they send it to you, but people don't read it. They send you a renewal. Yeah. The coverage has changed. It's not in the fine print, but you got to read it. And, so if we have another hailstorm, there's going to be a lot of people that are, thinking, okay, I get a brand new roof. And I've said this to a lot of insurance companies. I'm on a lot of executive boards there. And I said, we've created this monster. We've let people use insurance on homeowners as a maintenance product. Yep. If that roof is 20 years old and it needs to be replaced. Yeah. And we have a hailstorm and we've been replacing that roof for $15,000, $30,000. That's why the insurance has gone up.
Okay. So I'm coming in your office as a new customer. I want a homeowner's insurance. Are you gonna send somebody to inspect the house, or do you want me to provide you with all the specs of the house?
Well, in the year 2025, thank God. Yeah, used to we had to come out and look at houses, take pictures.
That's all I remember.
With the Google Earth,
Just look from there.
we can look with Zillow. We know the age, the square footage. Have to question the age of the roof. Maybe you know, maybe you don't know. It's a lot easier now than it used to be from an underwriting standpoint, from an agency.
Yep.
We sell 3 or 4 a day of people buying houses. So we just get the address, get some personal information, I say birthday, names, birthday.
Yep.
We can look at everything on the internet and kind of go from there, verify the age of the roof. So they're getting an inspection if they're buying a house.
Yep.
It'll pretty much tell us the roof age.
Beside the roof, is there any other things that might influence your insurance for homeowners, at least?
Obviously, the age of the house. The newer the house, the least expensive it's going to be.
What about, do you have any claims on those D.R. Horton homes or Smith Build? I think they are those two big builders.
I've not had any claims for that. I mean, I
just heard a lot of rumors.
They throw those up in about 10 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they are new, but okay, if the roof is fine, foundation is fine, I mean, what else can be wrong? To probably the windows are not very good, but the water is not going to come through,
Yeah, as long as the foundation, what you're going to find, plumbing, busted pipes or whatever. I mean, we've had this cold spell. We hadn't, knock on wood, hadn't had any frozen pipes, but that's going to be covered.
With this cold a few weeks ago, I got 10 phone calls, and the same day, all of them burst pipes, and all of them they want a written estimate for insurance claim.
Yeah,
like okay, I can do that with no problem, but it's a lot of bursting pipes.
It's a lot of busted pipes, and in your business, I'd say. I don't want to use the word get used to get the estimate, but you want to get the work. You don't want to waste your time doing estimates. Because a lot of I remember this 2011, we had that big hailstorm. A lot of cars were driving around with like golf ball sized holes in their cars. They were taking them to Joe Newbert's, let's say, and getting an estimate, turning it to insurance, getting the check. They're not fixing the car. So that's what he said. I know the guy that owns it, and he said, I said, well, you've got to be busy because we've been busy doing estimates, but we haven't did as many as you think. Because
my car is there right now.
people will take the check, and they're not getting the work done.
Yeah. You can drive with your car like that. Nobody's going to say nothing, know? And I don't think you're going to mind to have like 10, 15K in your pocket.
Yeah, there you
just
go.
Because it was storming outside.
Yeah, if the car is 7 years old,
There's nothing you can do.
You're just going to roll on and pocket the money.
If it's an old one, probably, but...
Yeah, if it's the newer one, you're going to... Yeah, a lot of those got totaled out.
I bet. Especially where the car was 2000 or even older than that, like Hondas or stuff like that.
Yeah, totaled it out. So what they were doing, they were keeping the car and keeping the cash and just dropping it down to liability if it was 15 years old, like a Honda Civic. They'll drive forever,
No, that's a lot of to work with in the insurance. What about for the commercial insurance for contractors? Do you have a lot of claims on those? Luckily, knock on wood.
No claims?
No claims at all. I do interiors. I do the new constructions, but everybody who I work with, I make sure their insurance is available first.
Yeah, the subs have their.
Yeah, because I don't want them to have problems on my job sites. But usually, what I do, me and my team, we do interiors. I mean, what can go wrong? I don't know, step on the ladder off from like 2-3 feet, but that's the most. I don't have any claims. I hope I'm not going to have any. Yeah. But do you have a lot of claims from the contractors?
We have not many. We've had some crazy. We had one of the craziest claims we had. We have a client that has about 15 cell phone service or AT&T reseller retail stores.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think there's a lot of risk? There is no risk. It's like an office policy.
Yeah.
Well, it's all fine until the employee tries to put this sign out on the outside. The other employee's holding it, drills a hole through the employee's hand.
Oh man.
And so now we got workers' comp because of the two employees.
Yep.
You know, so that's kind of a crazy claim we had. But you know, in general, you're in the contractor business. You know, guess what happens when, especially on the business side, you have a claim. Guess what happens to the rates? They ain't going down.
No,
They're going up.
They're going
So
up
if
a
it's
lot.
something
That's what
minor,
I'm trying.
you know, you twist an ankle, you got to suck it up. I don't want to turn it into a claim.
Oh yeah.
You know, if they hurt themselves, you took them to the urgent care, you take care of that. Out of your
It's
pocket.
way cheaper than
What's
put on
what's
a
going
claim.
to happen. You know, God forbid your insurance get canceled, then you're really in a hurt. This is going to double.
Yep.
So, you know, it's got to be pretty major, I think, on your side to even want to turn in a claim. You never want to, but I'm just saying, okay, I'm going to turn in a claim. But
What about if I'm coming as a new customer? I'm a contractor. Hey, Mr. Greg, look, I have this business. I do construction. What insurance would you recommend me? Like, I'm not talking about the workers' comp, general liability, those basic. Like, even on those, what do you recommend on like the
limit?
the limits? Yeah.
Yeah, at least $1 million of general liability. The workers' comp's kind of set. The state regulates, you know, your class code for your rate for the workers' comp. We've got about 5 companies that we work with on that we found to have the best. It doesn't with workers' comp. It doesn't really, with no claims, the rates are pretty consistent across the board. Where you have an issue is we got somebody that's getting canceled or having, you know, some claim issues, whereas the rates are, you know, that gets a little more meat on it.
Okay. And for the workers' comp, for example, because I just found out when I got mine, me as a homeowner, as a owner, I have a workers' comp exemption, and I have workers' comp for all my employees. I didn't know that I have to pay workers' comp for each one of them in part. For example, I think it's like 2,500. I want to say per employee for what I do on the interior remodeling. But I have a friend that he does roofing. He has about 5 employees. His workers' comp per year was $20,000.
Yep.
I was like,
that's the most dangerous thing you can do as far as construction. That's why it's so high. Fall off a roof.
What about trucking? Is that
we do a lot of trucking.
I used to be a truck driver, and I saw a lot of things out there.
Yeah, and you know that premium is high because I mean you're driving those big 18-wheelers. We've kind of got a niche with what's booming now is the Amazon delivery.
Yep.
People are buying those
box
delivery trucks, box trucks, and doing that.
Or vans for like Mercedes Sprinter.
We've got the vans all the way up to 18-wheelers that go from Chattanooga. We've got some but they pay. I mean, $80,000 is probably the average premium for one of those. So it's crazy.
Well, I guess Amazon pays good.
That's what I'm saying. They're making, they're paying good.
Well, what I like about that, it's especially now since they opened this in Knoxville, wherever you order, in a few hours it's home.
Yeah.
It's literally just like that. If it's like something more usable, if you have like furniture, okay, probably gonna wait 2 days. But everything else like few hours or 1 day.
Yeah, 1 day because a big plant
just
open or in distribution plant.
On your policies, do you have any big companies here in Knoxville that you insure?
Like I said, we've got some big restaurants. We've got a few contractors that are pretty big. But like I said, we are primarily 80% of our business is just like yourself. You're a contractor, small business owner, own a house, 2 cars.
Yep.
You know, what's crazy is your house and 2 cars is more than what a small business policy used to be. I mean, you're paying, you know, the average with your average homeowners is $2,300. You're paying $1,000 a year per car. You got 2 cars. I mean, you're paying $5
a bit more depends on the cars.
Absolutely.
And
that's driving the insurance up too.
Yep.
Because to repair these, I mean, you know, a truck. I mean, what do you got? A Toyota or F-150?
F-150.
You know, trucks hardly lose their value or slower.
Yeah, than a regular car.
A regular car, and you've got $70,000 to buy one new or higher.
Yep.
I mean,
If you want like a full option, king range, stuff like that,
it's $100,000.
even $100,000, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, you're driving a $100,000 truck and you got a guy driving a 10-year-old Honda. Well, you're going to pay a lot more because that truck is going to cost, you have a wreck. It's going to be $40,000 to fix the thing.
Exactly.
Okay. And the Honda, we're going to total it for $4,000. So, yeah.
So it does the engine of the car or stuffs on the car depends on when you get the insurance. For example, this truck what I have right now is just from the dealer. Mine is there to be fixed, but mine is a 5.0 engine.
Yeah, bigger engine.
Yeah, it's a bigger engine.
Goes faster. It makes a little difference. One of the positive things is with the safety features that these cars have in with the cameras and
all the sensors are like sidelines.
Yeah. Somebody get beside you, you get the light.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not, hopefully not moving into another lane with somebody there. And then some of these are kind of partly self-drive, not the Teslas, but we got some of those. And we just insured another one yesterday. But to where it's self-driving. So all that technology costs a lot of money.
Okay.
A Tesla is a little bit more to insure than something comparable. It's like a small SUV. I think it's the Y model.
The Y, yeah.
Yeah. So, that probably is comparable to like a Honda Passport, CRV, probably that size. With the Tesla, you get rear-ended. It doesn't have a frame, so the car's total.
Yep.
So you pay $50,000, and 6 months later, somebody hits you. They don't have insurance. Your insurance is going to have to pay $50,000. You have to replace the car. They can't fix it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Knoxville being such a booming right now, do you see a lot of claims on the car insurance? Because I'm telling you, I moved here 3-4 years ago this summer, and I noticed in 4 years the traffic is getting heavier and heavier and more wrecks every single day. All over you're looking, somebody hits somebody.
Yeah. It's definitely with the more, that's why they ask you how many miles a year you drive, because the less you drive, the less risk you have. Some companies, this is probably coming up to be more prevalent in the next few years. Is your insurance is going to be priced by the mile.
Okay,
so they're going to have with the iPhone app, they can tell how many miles you drive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming down the pike.
That's going to be probably even worse for me because
a lot of people drive more than they think.
Well, I have a job in Oak Ridge.
Yep.
You say it's Oak Ridge. It's not far. It's 25 miles. I have a job in Powell. It's not far. 15 miles. Back and forth, 30 miles. Go to the dumpster on Baxter. Another 10 miles, 20 miles back and forth.
All of a sudden, it's 100 miles a day.
A day, just like that, in a few hours. You don't not even notice. And when that is going to hit, probably a lot of people are just going to get Ubers or something.
Yeah. And I think, too, as our population across the country and in Knoxville are aging. So, somebody 50 years old is a lot better driver than somebody that's 75 or 80. That's why the rates for an 80-year-old are extremely high. And you're going to have, these boomers are getting older. They still want to drive. Well, that's why you're seeing the wrecks. They're not, they don't.
I don't want to lie to you, but I saw, I remember once I was coming from Maryville on Alcoa Highway. You know that intersection where you go either east or west on the I-40?
Mm-hmm.
Was those two old ladies, I want to say they had 80 years at least. A brand new, was like Cadillac, something expensive anyway. I was coming and I saw all the semi-trucks in front of me, like just pushing the brakes at the same time. They didn't know which way to take. And they were in a middle lane, 70 miles per hour, everybody. And they were just like going like 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, how is that possible? Why nobody checks? Like, why shouldn't you go as a driver once each 2 years or once a year?
I think after
to get the checkup.
I don't know what I should know this, but I don't know what the age is. Like your license, I think lasts 5 years. I think after a certain age, you should go every year.
Yeah.
for your eyesight, because people can't
Eyesight
see.
and reflexes
Yeah.
should be one of the things.
Yeah, or take the drive. I think at 75, you should have to take a driving test.
Oh yeah. Because you might know how to go from here to the store, but you probably forgot a lot of things that needs to be considered. And there are all those new drivers that are coming out here who are probably happy or like speed or stuff like that. They're not gonna see you, or you're not gonna see them.
Right.
And there you go.
There you go.
Another wreck. Mr. Greg, as a business owner, what do you see? What's helping you the most in Knoxville? Like how is Knoxville helping you to get customer, to get business, stuff like that? Do you work in a lot of communities, or
We do a lot of community outreach. I'm on the board for a company called Care Cuts, or a nonprofit. We help the homeless here in Knoxville. We do a lot of outreach that way. And we strive, if you Google Knoxville Insurance, just Google Knoxville Insurance. We're the number one Google rated company. Probably, I think we have more Google reviews than anybody in the state. We're close.
okay?
So they move here, and we also work, we work well with the lenders and the realtors as well. So, and we do what we say, like I said, we tell them that we're not working for the company. We don't care if we're travelers. We're going to take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going to cut corners. We're not going to, you can always get it cheaper.
Oh yeah.
That's what I tell them. You can always get it cheaper. You can call 800 number and get 2550. Don't hit me at that. I'm going to sue your ass, Like I said, we got a good team. We've got all local folks, all licensed, a lot of experience, and word of mouth, I think there's a lot. But I think, social media, we try to share what our successes, State Farm, they've had a lot of bad press because of those fires in California, canceling thousands of homeowners about a month before that thing hit. And even before that, and I had State Farm growing up. My parents had it, but they kind of lock you in. You've been there 20 years. You can never be non-renewed. Yeah, you cannot be non-renewed, but that price is going to, because they can triple it. They're not saying that. So we've had a lot of success with all. We probably write Allstate or State Farm. We probably write 10 of those a week, because it's just a matter of when they call. Because I know a lot of fine agents with those companies, but they only have one shot. They can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do anything. If State Farm, here's your rate. That guy can't do anything. Well, guess what? We can. And we've got 5 companies that can save you 20%. When you're paying $5,000, 20% is $1,000. You come to us and we can, we look at everything apples to apples, and we can only save you $100, $200. You're better off staying where you're at. We're going to tell you that.
Do you do any social media advertising, or?
We do. We're pretty, we're out there. I do a live from KIG, no matter where I'm at.
I know that's
on a Friday,
I found it.
You found me. We've been doing that probably for about 5 or 6 years, and we kind of covered UT sports. UT sports is a lot better now. When we started it, we had coaching debacle, just a nightmare. But we've done well with that. We like I said, try to say, look, we're in your community, but we do try to do a lot of Facebook. We don't pay. It's not paid. We just do it.
Yeah.
Because it's free, and
you just have to do it constantly.
You gotta do it consistently. Like I said, every Friday, 10:30. A lot of people, we probably have viewership of, I've got a granddaughter now on there that viewership's way up when she's on there at first. But in general, we probably have, 2,500 a week watch it. They don't watch it live, but it's on there.
Yeah, it's recorded.
And Facebook's done great with, you can do the @followers, so everybody it notifies them. That's helped, some viewership. But like I said, we try to keep it, we try to tell where we're at, and then kind of talk about some sports stuff and what's kind of going on in Knoxville, and just let them know we're there, and we're going to be there.
Does the fires in 2016 affect a lot your business? Like, did you had a lot of claims
In
back there
2016.
down in Gatlinburg?
Well, I can tell you this: a lot of companies won't write in severe even today.
Is that
We
that's
have because of that.
Mhm.
We had a lot of overnight rentals. People in 2020, when before everything started going crazy with the rates or the pricing of houses, we had a lot of people. I've got one guy we've got insured, lives in California, never been to Tennessee, has 10 properties. Was buying those things just to Airbnb because it cash flowed. Having a hard time now placing it because these companies are bailing out because of the fire risk. It may or may not happen again. I don't think it'll ever happen again like it did
Probably not.
in the Gallenberg, but
Hopefully not.
But these companies are scared. They had a lot of businesses lost a lot of money from business and insurance, and that's I always tell people you don't know how good your insurance is till you have a claim or your insurance agent.
Yep.
So
That's I was there. That's why I asked you. I was there back in 2016, and I mean I remember that day when the fire was. I woke up to go to work, was so foggy and so kind of like orange outside light, and I got to work. Was I can feel the smell of the smoke, and I was working till like probably 4 or 5 p.m. in that afternoon. Literally, the fire was like from here wherever you park, that close, and we have to leave. And it took us probably close to 5 hours to get from there to Knoxville. All those back roads like Cosby, Newport, because
Yeah.
that was the only way open. Pigeon Forge was closed because of the fire, so was only one way out, all the way to Cosby, and those were some tough times back then.
yeah, a lot of there's still a lot of I think Trump was in North Carolina. I mean, we still got a lot of work to do there.
I don't know. I mean, I saw the news that he was there, and I don't know why. Uh, from what I understand, he want to do something like with FEMA, cancel FEMA because they send like what trailer homes or stuff like that for the people, or didn't send them, something like that.
They didn't send enough. I know that.
Man, that's.
So hopefully they get that turned around. I think he will.
Do you think all those fires, like in California or here in Gatlinburg, do you think they were like on purpose, or was just an accident, or just because of the dry vegetation?
Yeah, I
that?
think. Well, in California, they didn't have any water. They didn't have anything, and they knew that. I don't think it. They say it's so dry out there that a little spark. I think in part of what in Gallenberg, it was somebody just building a fire, and it kind of the wind. I remember the wind that was like 40
strong.
miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's what churned that.
And was dry because
It was dry.
Didn't rain for like months.
Right. So it was a bad combination of things.
All right, Mr. Greg. Man, thank you very much for coming.
Hey, enjoyed it, man.
Well, I'm glad. I hope you can come back one day to give us some more infos for insurance, because at least for me and probably for my viewers and everybody else out there, you teach them a few things, a few small good things, about getting insurance. Check it out.
Yeah.
Because it's not just, it's cheap, it works,
Yeah.
Because
you get legal, but
you might want to get the better one just because it's better.
Yeah. Because that's what people don't understand. It isn't that much more money. When it costs $10 to go to McDonald's now, one trip, a month, get you better coverage.
Better coverage, and you save long term. You don't have to work for $10 an hour because somebody's gonna get the rest of it from your salary.
Exactly.
Right, Mr. Greg. People can find you on Peters Road, you said?
Yeah, it's 220 South Peters Road, just up from Fantasy World. You know the address, just off Kingston Pike, or find us on the web at KnoxvilleInsuranceGroup.com.
Guys, go ahead, get a better insurance, and we're going to see you next time in the next episode. Thank you very much. Mr. Greg, thank you very much for coming.
Hey, buddy. It was great. Man, you got a good setup here.
Yeah,
How long? How many?
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please give us a share, like, and a comment.